A couple who duped an Oregon man into loaning them more than $3 million blew through most of the money gambling in Las Vegas casinos but is now headed to federal prison. Heap Kong Van and Thai Min Phan tricked the elderly victim, identified only as Rightworthy, into loaning them money on the false premise they needed help operating a landscaping business in Colorado and covering some legal fees. They repeatedly swindled the victim for more than 3 years, bleeding him for all that he had, so they could live as high rollers in Las Vegas, Assistant U.S. Attorney Scott E. Bradford said in federal court Thursday. They gambled the money away at the Aria, Bellagio, Caesars Palace and MGM Grand. The victim was a former customer of Van's landscaping business in Colorado who had moved to Oregon after retiring. He wired money to the couple in Colorado and Nevada. He also bought cashier's checks and sent them by mail. The retiree had signed a contract, in which the two recipients promised to repay the loans with interest, but that didn't happen, Bradford said. On Thursday, a federal judge sentenced Van, 41, to 3 years and 1 month in prison, plus 1 year in a residential re-entry center, essentially a halfway house, where he will be required to attend treatment for his compulsive gambling addiction. Van's co-defendant, Phan, 39, was sentenced last month to 1 year and 9 months in custody. Phan, now living in Walla Walla, Washington, must begin serving her federal sentence next week. You committed a crime that caused a devastating loss to a perfectly innocent man who's not likely to be repaid, U.S. District Judge Anna J. Brown said Thursday, as she sentenced Van. The man put faith in you because he trusted you. And you repeatedly abused that trust. The prosecutor urged the judge to send Van to prison for 4 years and 9 months, while Van's defense lawyer sought a shorter sentence of 2 years and 6 months. Assistant Federal Public Defender Ruben Iniguez called the government's proposed sentence unfair, considering Van's co-defendant was sentenced to much less time. Her role was equal here. It certainly was not minor, Iniguez argued. The prosecutor countered that Van controlled most of the couple's communications, whether by phone, email, or text messages, with the victim, and said Van physically assaulted his girlfriend during the gambling scheme. Further, Van had entered a cooperation agreement with prosecutors, but then violated the conditions of his pretrial release. Without approval, Van left his home in Colorado and traveled to California, and gambled more than $10,000 at casinos there, while awaiting sentencing, Bradford said. Van stood before the judge and pleaded for mercy. I know what I did was wrong, he said. I am truly sorry, and I regret that for the rest of my life. He also issued a brief statement to the victim, who was not in court Thursday. I also want to truly apologize to the victim and what I have caused, Van said. I lost his trust, I took his dignity, and I have lost his friendship. The judge urged Van to turn his remorse into something positive, and take advantage of counseling programs in prison and when he gets out.